I spent good 6 years in this पाठशाला और उन 6 सालों में मुझे 100 बार कहा गया तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, और मैं हर क्लास में फेल होती थी. I used to call water water, I used to call park पारक, and I used to call school स्कूल. मुझे देखकर कोई कह ही नहीं सकता था कि मैं कभी IAS बन सकती हूँ. सडनली मुझे लगा कि जैसे जो मेरी जिंदगी का पजल था उसका आखिरी पीस मिल गया. Hi everyone, I'm Anupma Chandra. I have been in the civil services, the ISA, for 23 years. It has been the most exciting, fantastic, and enriching journey of my life. But I was the least likely candidate to qualify the UPSC and the IAS. मुझे देखकर कोई कह ही नहीं सकता था कि मैं कभी IAS बन सकती हूँ. As a student, I was a total disaster. I failed in every class starting from class KG. I was studying in Hindi medium schools and Kendriya Vidyalayas. I had no confidence and I had a massive inferiority complex. So if you were to make a checklist of people who qualified for this exam, I wouldn't be the one to tick the box. But I still made it. And I'm here to share this journey of becoming somebody from an absolute nobody with you. 3 things happened in my life which I feel defined my life and changed my life entirely. Let's start from the beginning. I was 7 years old and I had never gone to school. Simply because my father was posted in a place called Itawa, which lied in the Chambal Valley, which was infested with dacoits. And kidnapping of kids was routine there, so we were kept in the house. My first encounter with the school happened when we moved to Raebareli. I was put in the only so-called good school there, which had exactly 4 rooms. And I was put in class 1. Now me, who couldn't even write ABCD, found herself in class 1. I was older to most of the kids in that class, and I was repeatedly told, don't you know anything? Can't you write ABC? Haven't you studied anything? So much so that they demoted me to KG. Even in KG, I could not cope up. I flunked KG. And that's when they chucked me out of that school. The next school I went to, because that was the only option in Raebareli, was a Pathshala kind of a school. We used to carry our own mats, put them on the floor, and study there. It was a very, very average school. I did not get much education there, but I got certain traits which immediately classified me as a Hindi medium personality. I used to call water water, I used to call park parak, and I used to call school school. So anybody who had a conversation with me in 2 minutes knew that I did not know any English. I was very low on confidence, and I had no ambitions. I had no self-confidence. I was in fact somebody who was totally lacking in any kind of self-esteem, you should say. I spent good 6 years in this पाठशाला. और उन 6 सालों में मुझे 100 बार कहा गया तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, तुम्हें कुछ नहीं आता, और मैं हर क्लास में फेल होती थी. After that, my father got posted to Lucknow. There he tried to put me in a good school, but because of my report cards and the admission test, I was rejected by precisely 8 good schools because I could really not speak any English. Then a stroke of good luck happened. I was admitted in one good school because they had done away with admission tests and they were accepting mid-session kids. You would say problem solved, but not really. It was the starting of a very long and dark phase for me. This school was totally English medium. इतना English medium कि अगर हिंदी में बात कर लो तो फाइन लग जाता था. So I stopped talking. I stopped speaking. And when I was made to talk in a class, I made a complete fool of myself. I had no friends, because every time I approached the girls in the lunchtime, they would whisper, HMT, HMT, which I later realized was Hindi medium types. So here I was in class 7th, sad, lonely, and dejected. 1 year passed. My grades did not improve. I kept failing in at least 1 or 2 subjects. I had no dream, I had no ambition. Of course, I did not dare to have any, because I knew I could never do it. Then one day, Mrs. Indira Gandhi was coming to Lucknow, and all of us schoolgirls were asked to stand on either side of the road with flowers in our hand to welcome her. And then I still remember her jeep rolled in. It was an open jeep laden with flowers. And what followed the jeep was an n number of beacon flashing cars. That fascinated me. I was almost looking at the cars, non-stop. As chance would have it, her jeep stood right in front of me. It stopped, and I moved forward and gave the flowers to her. She patted my head and said, "बड़े होकर क्या बनोगी?" I said, "आपके जैसे?" And she said, "हाँ हाँ, क्यों नहीं?" And she laughed kindly and she moved on. But she was not the only one who laughed. All the schoolgirls who were standing with me started laughing. It made me very, very, very angry. So angry, so agitated that I was almost, in a fit of rage. But I could do nothing. I could only obsess with those beacon light cars. But I feel a small seed of determination was sown that day. That anger stayed with me. Soon after, I had my cousins visiting from US, and they gave me a postcard. It is a very simple postcard, as you can see. It is a scene of a highway lit up in the night with some fancy cars in it. I was mesmerized by this postcard. I looked at it day in and day out, and I just wanted to be the person in one of these cars. फिर मैं अपने पापा के पास गई और मैंने पूछा, पापा मुझे ये 2 गाड़ियाँ बहुत पसंद आई हैं, एक तो वो बीकन फ्लैशिंग वाली और एक जो इस हाईवे में है, दोनों में से मैं किसी में भी पहुँच जाऊँ तो मुझे चलेगा। तो पापा ने हंस के कहा कि और अगर दोनों में पहुँच जाओ तो मैंने कहा फिर तो क्या हो सकता है, इससे अच्छी तो कोई बात ही नहीं है। तो उन्होंने बोला कि तुम दोनों में पहुँच सकती हो, अगर तुम एक एग्ज़ाम होता है यूपीएससी का IAS, उसको क्लियर कर लो तो तुम दोनों कार्स में हो सकती हो। Wow, I had a dream. I mean, for the first time in my life, I felt I could have a dream and I could have an ambition. And that became my secret fantasy. I was willing to do anything to get there. I started really working hard on my studies. My grades started improving. And I was, a reasonably okay kind of a student when I passed my class 10th. In class 12th, we had again moved to Bareilly, and I studied in a Kendriya Vidyalaya, which was very average. My grades were still okay, but not that great. I came to IT college in Lucknow, and I moved to the hostel. That is the first time I got an atmosphere of serious studies. And I really started working hard. My grades were improving. I was determined. But somehow I was not succeeding the way I should have been. By now, I was beginning to feel like a bird who was in a room full of windows and who wanted to fly, who could see the sky. But I couldn't find that door, or I couldn't find that open window from where I could really fly. I was trying, but it was not happening. Then one day, I happened to visit an art exhibition by a famous French artist. He was displaying his techniques there. So I was watching him, and I saw that every time he would draw a line, then rub it, then draw again, then draw again, then draw again. So I was just wondering that why is he doing that to an already perfect picture? Maybe it's a technique. He saw me seeing this intently, and he asked me, "Can I help you, lady?" So I asked him, why are you, continuously rubbing lines and then making them again? And what he said, I can never ever forget in my life. And I quote, he said, "This is one habit which has put me on the top. Every time I draw, I ask one single question. Was this my best? Was this my best? And till the answer is not yes, I keep improving on my drawing." If you have a dream, and if you have an ambition, and you are making an effort towards it, continuously ask, was this my best? And don't stop till the answer is yes. And he said, you can start asking this question anytime in your life. It's never ever too late. Suddenly मुझे लगा कि जैसे जो मेरी ज़िंदगी का पज़ल था, उसका आखिरी पीस मिल गया. ये मेरा मंत्र बन गया. मैंने इसको यूज़ करना शुरू किया and my life changed. It was like a miracle. I started preparing for the IAS, and every single day as I prepared, I would ask, was this my best? Was this my best? And to begin with, the answer was always no. Then I started putting in 14 hours a day of study to just make it a yes. I would practice writing in time limit every single day. I would stand in front of the mirror and do mock interviews with myself all the time. I read everything which was available on general studies and my subjects. My social life had become minimal, and I had cut off people who continuously kept telling me that I can't do it, some kind of a noise cancellation. इस तरह करने के 8 महीने बाद जब मैंने ये सवाल पूछा कि क्या ये मेरा बेस्ट था, तो जवाब आया हाँ. और जब वो जवाब आया हाँ, in that moment, I knew that I will make it. I knew that my confidence was sky high now. I knew that I was invincible. Despite everything, I knew that I will make it. And I made it. I became an ISA officer. And I did it in style. I had a near perfect score in my interview. I did it despite my Hindi medium background, despite not the best schools, despite people telling me all the time that I couldn't do it. In fact, I went to the extent कि जब मुझे लोगों ने कहा कि इसको अंग्रेजी नहीं आती, मैंने सारा डिक्शनरी रट लिया, मैंने सारा थिसॉरस भी रट लिया. कौन सा शब्द है जो आप मेरी तरफ फेंक सकते हैं और मैं उसकी इंग्लिश नहीं बता सकती. So that was the level of effort that went into it. So today, I want to gift you this mantra. If you have a dream, and if you have an ambition, every single day ask yourself, was this my best? Was this my best? Was this my best? And don't rest till it becomes your best. Don't rest till you have given it your all. It may be time, it may be effort, it may be knowledge, it may be skills. Don't stop anywhere. So look at me. I was a very, very ordinary girl with no extraordinary skills or circumstances. But I had a dream, and I had a question. I every day asked, was this my best? Was this my best? And that's how I made it. Thank you.
Tell us what you think about this video, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.